Hello and welcome. I'm glad you're here. Are you shooting on yourself? I know, when I first heard that reaction, I had quite a chuckle. Another one I heard was, no shooting allowed in this room. Now, we were a group of women talking about how to be authentic and speak your truth and to really take care of yourself in relationships and, say what you need to say. And this term should really struck home with me because I really found myself using it a lot in determining what I should or shouldn't do in a situation that I was faced with. And I really wanted to share this with you guys. So when you look, and again, you can analyze your own situation, but when we find ourselves using the word should, what we're really doing is we're assuming what other people might be thinking, or we're trying to predict the response to a situation, what actions they may take based on what we do or don't do, or say or don't say. This might also be known as people pleasing, right? That we're trying to control the outcome of a situation, or we're trying to appease the other people or person based on what we say or what we do. We could also substitute the word should with the sense of guilt, and a sense of that it's all up to us to do the right thing or say the right thing to make things work out. Because if we don't, it's because we were wrong or something was wrong with us. So it comes from that place of not supporting ourselves or feeling responsible for more than we should. So when we use this word should, I invite you to think of it as a bell that goes off that causes you to stop and think about what you're doing, where you're coming from, and how you could best take care of yourself instead through this process. So the word should has come up in your vocabulary when you're trying to determine what to do or the best way to be in a situation. And a bell goes off. And I invite you to, at this point, to really stop and take that pause and that breath and really consider where you're coming from. And if you're watching this video, you're probably like me in that you're interested in helping yourself shift this exact scenario of feeling guilty or the need to do the right thing to be accepted by someone or to not disappoint others or to make something work out all right, because thinking like it's all up to us to make something work out all right. But this is something that we know hasn't served us well. Instead, it leaves us doing too much, not feeling good about ourselves because we haven't been honest, because we're not taking care of ourselves. So we can stop, and out of this desire to treat ourselves well, to create different outcomes in our relationships, to create better relationships, we can stop and go, aha, I'm coming from should. I'm coming from this sense of guilt that it's my responsibility to make everything go okay. And then we could really allow ourselves, we don't need to beat ourselves up at this point. This is like the first step to making great change in our lives, is being aware that we're doing this thing again, and to really allow ourselves to feel the fear that we might be feeling, to feel the desperation of really wanting everything to be okay, right? But with the knowing that this approach hasn't been working. So we really can stop and notice and allow, and we don't need to beat ourselves up. We can just be so kind to ourselves in understanding that, You know, we've been behaving this way of serving others for so long. It worked to a degree, but we know now that it's not really setting ourselves up to be a healthy individual. We got to change things. So we can just stop and allow, give ourselves lots of kindness, and then really take a look at what it is we really need to do in this situation, what we want to do. You know, how we can best take care of ourselves. It might be scary, but what do we really want to say? What do we really want to do? What's the outcome we want? And we can ask ourselves this in this moment. And then we get to choose and come from a place of self-care and trust, and in really trusting that we can work through this situation doing things differently. And what I really want to point out at this moment is, as people who have this need to please, you know, who this can be a really scary place to do something different and risk disappointing others or putting ourselves in a place of we don't know what the response is going to be, because it's going to be a different response, a new response if we do things differently. That if you're finding yourself feeling selfish, that this is not true. This isn't selfishness. This is taking care of ourselves with the knowledge that if we do, we can have a healthier response and therefore really take care of others too. Because when we allow others to respond differently, they get to grow too. So we really can look at this as an opportunity for everybody involved. So we're really stopping and we're noticing we're going down that path of people pleasing, of shoulding. We don't want to go there. Kindness to ourselves. How could we react differently in this situation? And really choosing a new response. And again, it could be a small step. And it doesn't have to come from anger. It could just be a not agreeing, a negotiation of I can do a little bit of this, but not all of it. I need some help here, but a different response. So I really like you to take away today this concept of shoulding on yourself and really noticing when you're shoulding on yourself. And I really do like this word because it is that word of excrement, of not being good to yourself, of putting yourself down, of not nurturing yourself, but instead kind of just stepping on yourself and not supporting yourself, right? That's what the shoulding on yourself is. And instead stop and really take a look at, how can I be kind here? How can I support myself going forward? And so you can shape different outcomes so that you really can feel like you're being authentic and speaking your truth in your relationships. So I'd really love to know your thoughts on this and your comments about this word should. I'd love for you to leave your thoughts in the comments below. And as well, subscribe if you haven't to this channel, because it really tells me that you'd like to hear more and learn more in this area of how we can stop ourselves from people pleasing and speak our truth and and be authentic in our relationships. And as well, I invite you to sign up for a free mini coaching session if you want to get support on breaking free from some of these people pleasing behaviors in your life. And as well, join my Facebook group if that might interest you, where you will be joining a group of like-minded women, and we talk more about subjects like this. And I'll leave the links for all of those below. And one more, if you haven't already, sign up for my free guided body scan video that I've prepared for you, where it gives us an opportunity to break free from our worrying, busy minds and connect with what's really true for ourselves, connect with our inner self in support of being someone who speaks our truth and lives from our authentic self. So I'll leave the links for all of that below. And again, until next time, really do take care of yourself. And I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.